Well, hello scrappers, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. And the weather outside is frightful. We got days of rain in front of us. So I'm indoors looking at eBay. And it reminded me that I need to do another video on buying chips from eBay because I get questions all the time from people. And I put out another video in the past about buying chips from eBay, and I think it's time to refreshen it and add some other info to it, okay? Because people are always asking me, hey Mike, is this a good deal on eBay? Or hey Mike, I've got some chips, so many kilos of this many chips. Let me send you some pictures. Would you give me X amount of money for them? And generally I say no, that's too much money. Put them on eBay. You'll find somebody who wants to pay that much for them, but it's not me, okay? And I was thinking maybe I should do another video on buying chips from eBay because sometimes you can get a deal on chips on eBay where you can get them for significantly less than their gold content and the amount of work and chemicals it's going to take to get that gold out of them. It's rare, but it does happen. So I thought I'd do another video here and show you the pitfalls and the profits potential of buying chips on eBay to recover the gold from them. So, and I do this myself from time to time. I will see a deal on eBay and I will jump on it and I will buy it occasionally. But most of the stuff on eBay I think is really overpriced. So, and a disclaimer up front, I'm going to tell you, none of the listings we're going to look at here am I either bidding on or do they belong to me. They're all some third party who I don't know. So let's take a look. Sometimes I'll get on eBay when I'm bored and just do scrap IC chips. Search for scrap IC chips. And well, you will get a whole lot of listings that are going to come up. And I've sorted through all these listings, and we're going to talk about some of them because they're kind of representative of what you've got here on eBay. And what I think of them, whether I would buy them or not, why I would not buy them or I would buy them, okay? So here's a listing right here. 6 pounds of vintage plastic IC chips for gold recovery. Okay, there's nothing wrong with vintage plastic IC chips. They've got gold in them. They've got gold bond wires. They're great. You can, if you can get a bunch of them, and here we got 6 pounds of them. If you can get a bunch of them, you can get a fair amount of gold out of them. And looking at this, being, an electronic engineer, I'm looking at this, I know what I'm seeing. So, we've got some big flat packs here. There's going to be a lot of gold bond wires in those. Got some, looks like RAM chips here, here probably. So those are probably going to have good gold in them. There's a lot of just general glue logic chips, which will have a little bit of gold in them, but not a lot. I mean, it's an average mix. It's an average mix. The problem is the price is too high. At $125 plus $6.72 shipping, I think the price is too high. I think you'd be lucky to get, a couple grams of gold out of these. If you're careful, if you really know what you're doing, you'll get a couple grams of gold out of these, okay? So, although you might do okay the price of gold-wise, you got to figure in all the effort, the chemicals, your time, whatnot, into getting that gold out of these chips. So I think the price is a little too high. It's an auction, so you can't shoot him a lower offer, unfortunately. But if these chips don't sell, he may relist them at a lower price. He may do a buy it now at a lower price. He may make an offer. Who knows? So, this might be an auction worth watching to see if you can get them for less in the future. If you could get a bunch of chips for significantly under $100, it might be worth it if you're really good at getting the gold out of a random mix of chips like this, okay? It might be worth it. But you're going to have to get them significantly below $100. I probably, $75 is the most I would probably pay for this bunch of chips right here. So, that's just me though. Your mileage may vary. So let's look at the next listing. So here's 21 pounds. It says 21 pounds of vintage dip processor IC chip scrap for precious gold recovery. Okay, well, first off, I'm looking at this picture, and first off, what do I see when I'm looking at this picture? I see that maybe half the stuff in this tub is IC chips. Maybe half. Maybe not even half. I see a lot of connectors. I see a lot of IC sockets. I see these look like potentiometers over here. Some of these sockets have some gold plating on them. Yeah, some of these connectors have some gold plating on them, but a lot of them don't. There's a lot of plastic here. There's a lot of junk metal here. So this is not all IC chips. If it was 21 pounds of IC chips, well, still, it might be a little bit on the pricey side as far as I'm concerned. What's 700 divided by 21 pounds? So that's $33 a pound. So I would say for this mix of chips, which is nothing special, I don't see a lot of memory chips. I don't see a lot of flat packs. Okay, there are some chips with gold-plated legs. That's a plus. That's a plus. There are some sockets with gold-plated legs. That's a plus. But for this mix of chips and miscellaneous other electronic debris, I don't think it's worth $33 a pound. If you could get it for $15 a pound, maybe it would be worth it. To me, anyway. It would be worth it to me. You know, I might be able to get enough gold out of it to make a profit after considering the chemicals. And, well, it's hard to figure in my time and effort because it's basically a hobby. You know, it's not a business. But, yeah, at $15 a pound, I would go for this. But at $33 a pound, no, I wouldn't. Now, this guy does have a make an offer button, so you could shoot him an offer for less. But, of course, you run the risk. If you shoot him an offer for what you think it's worth, and that's significantly lower than what he thinks it's worth, he could just ignore you, or he could take offense and just sort of block you. So, you know, sometimes I've sold a lot of stuff on eBay, and you get a lot of low ballers, people who really want something that you've got, but they don't want to pay for it, so they'll shoot you some outrageously low offer on it. And, you know, this guy may genuinely think that this stuff is worth $700, and he may think you're lowballing him if you hit him with a price that's reasonable, and he may take offense. So you never know. That's a possibility, a problem all the time when you're dealing with eBayers and making offers for stuff. But unless I could get this stuff for less than half of what he's asking, I wouldn't buy it. Yeah, and that's just me. You want it, you buy it. Okay, here's the next listing. 1 pound, super clean, BGA only, RAM, lot, memory, DDR-IC, circuit chips, scrap, gold recovery. Boy, he's crammed every single possible keyword into his title. So he's smart. He's been doing eBay a while, I can tell. Well, he's only sold 868 items, but he's learned the whole cramming of the keywords into the title thing. $55 for a pound of BGA RAM chips. This is actually not an outrageous price at all. BGA RAM chips, you know, you might be able to get a couple grams a pound out of BGA RAM chips. Especially here, he says no labels, no heat sink goo, no solder balls, all residue glue, no residue glue, super clean, thin BGA RAM chips. So he's cleaned them up, so you're not getting a lot of waste crap in here. Yeah, just basically chips. All right, yeah. So this would be a good deal. You know, if this was a buy it now, I would probably jump on it because I would think I could make a fair profit on this. Get a couple grams of gold out of them. You know, what's the price per gram right now? Around $65 a gram. So, yeah, I should be able to double my money. And, you know, it's not going to take that much in the way of chemicals to process the small amount of material that's going to be left after I would incinerate these chips. So, yeah, I would say this is a deal. Problem is, this is an auction. It's not a buy it now. Now it's possible nobody else is going to bid. It's very possible nobody else is going to bid, and you may get these for $55 plus shipping. The shipping's going to knock your profit margin down a little bit, but so there's no buy it now. There's no shoot me an offer here. It's an auction, so you can hope nobody else bids. Maybe put it on your watch list and check it, just before it ends and see what it's up to. If nobody's bidding, shoot a bid in. Maybe you could even afford to go up a couple bucks higher and still do okay with this. So this is not bad. This is not bad at all. But of course, since it's an auction, there's no guarantee somebody else who wants them worse than you and is willing to pay a lot more money for them isn't going to come along and take them. The only consolation you'll have is that they're going to lose their shirt on them, and you wouldn't have. So there's that. Hey, let's look at the next listing. 4 pounds vintage 80s 90s scrap IC chips for gold, palladium, and silver recovery. All right. Well, take a look here. Yeah, those are some older chips. 6821 right on top. Got some. It's a mix of ceramics. Plastic, and I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like it has gold legs on it. So gold legs are always a bonus. All right, yeah. Let's see, $100 for 4 pounds plus $18.10 shipping. Always got to figure in the shipping. That's gonna increase your cost a little bit, knock down your profit margin. So this is close to being doable. The problem I have is that there's a lot of these kind of ICs in it. These are small 14, 16 pin dual inline chips. There are some ceramics, there are some plastics. I think I do better with ceramics than plastics, but still, such small chips, they don't have a whole lot of bond wires in them. So they are kind of, what I'm trying to say is the percentage of gold by weight on these is pretty low. If there were a lot more of these, like 24, 28 pin packages, some more of these 40 pin packages, I might think about it. Some big ceramic packages. But I would say this is just a little bit overpriced for me based on the fact that there's so many of these small chips in it, which aren't going to have a huge amount of gold each. Don't get me wrong, they'll have gold. And if you can get these small chips really cheap, they are worth it. But really, they are mostly junk metal and plastic and very little gold in these. The BGA chips here, the memory BGA chips, these are about your best bet for gold, or one of your best bets for gold. By weight, these contain a whole lot of gold, but these not so much. So yeah, I'd probably have to pass on this, unless I could get it for about half price. He does have a make offer button. Maybe he just wants to unload the stuff, clear out his inventory, make some space on the shelf. Maybe he's a businessman. He's not going to take offense. Shoot him an offer. Maybe you can get him for half price, and then maybe it'll be worth it. All right, let's take a look at another listing. Lot of 30 large gold corner BGAs. Agilent, whatever. I don't know what those chips do. Don't really care. Whatever it is, it's probably nothing I can use in my retro computing projects. I love gold corner BGAs. I seriously love them. They are full of gold. That's why I like them. And I'm always hoping to find a good listing of gold corner BGAs on eBay. And I have found a few. I would not say that this is one of them, but I have found a few. This epoxy part on the top of the BGA package, the good ones run, in my experience, a little over 1% gold by weight. Okay? Just this part of the chip alone. You peel off this green fiber part on the bottom. You peel that off. And that this is all tin. and copper and just a very, very small amount of gold in here. All your gold's in this gray blob right here. Almost all of it. So these are big BGAs. The bigger the better generally, in my experience. And if there were about 3 times this many, I would jump on this. But at $80 for 30 of them, I think that is way overpriced. I have bought big lots of gold corner BGAs and done very well extracting the gold from them. But the lot would have to be, like I said, about 3 times bigger than this. Or maybe somewhere between a half and a third of what this guy's asking. Now again, we got a make offer button down here, so you can shoot him an offer and see if he takes it. Here's something I have noticed about eBay sellers, okay? And being an eBay seller myself, I know why it happens, okay? If you were to just click on Add to Watch List and put this listing on your watch list, within a day or two, this guy might shoot you a lower price offer. And the reason that happens is because eBay will send this guy a message saying, hey, you've got watchers on this item. Why don't you shoot them a lower price offer to get them to buy it? So, if you just put something on your watch list, it's quite possible you will get a lower offer. And a lot of times when that offer comes in, you have the opportunity to actually counteroffer. Say he was to send you an offer for $75, and you could counter with 70 or 65. If the guy wants to get rid of the things, he might do it. But really, you got to pay less than $80 for 30 of these. Really, I mean that's just a little bit too much. If stuff doesn't sell, a lot of times the seller will just relist it in a week or two and at a lower price because they want to get rid of it. So you can watch for that to happen too. Lots of times I've watched stuff go up for large amounts of money. Nobody buys it. The auction expires or the sale expires. They come back, they immediately relist it for less. And this may go on 2, 3, 4 times until the price gets down to somewhere where somebody actually wants it and it sells. So patience. Patience is a virtue, Just wait and see what happens. All right, let's look at another listing. Okay, now this is an interesting listing. I really wanted to show this one off for a couple reasons. First off, I never buy chips unless they're whole, all right? So these chips, you think the work's been done for you. Okay, these are ceramic IC chips. Somebody's gone to the trouble of splitting them in half. They've gotten rid of the steel legs. Okay, all right. Looks like a good deal, right? You see all that lovely gold brazing in there. Well, to my eye, this is not a good deal, and I'll tell you why. The gold brazing that you see in ceramic IC chips is only part of the gold story on these chips. All right? There were gold bond wires, What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like about 20 gold bond wires per chip before they were split. I don't see a single gold bond wire on any of these. All right, so those gold bond wires have gone MIA. And that is a significant amount of the gold present in each and every one of these chips is now missing. Maybe it's on the seller's garage floor. I don't know. Maybe he collected it knowing that it was valuable and is just putting these chips up without them because he doesn't know how to process them to get the gold brazing. I don't know. There's all kinds of possibilities. Maybe he just never heard of gold bond wires and, he split them, saw the pretty gold in there, said, I'm going to sell this part, and didn't notice that he's probably got a lot of gold under his feet in his garage now. I don't know. But either way, these chips are missing a lot of their gold. So I would never buy them like this. I always buy my chips whole. That way I get all the gold. So never buy chips that somebody else has already split open like this. You're going to lose out on some of the gold. Not a good deal. At least he's not asking very much money for them. So, but it is an auction. He does have make offer though. It's kind of odd to see auction and make offer. I don't know. If you could get these for, under $20 and want to process them, maybe you do okay. But I would literally love to have those lovely gold bond wires that were in there and are now missing. So, I don't know. I'd have to think about this. Let's move on. Now, here's some look at this, nice purple ceramic chips up here. Let me see if we can get a better look at some of them here. Yeah, get a close-up look. Looks like date codes of 1982 on them. So these are old chips. These are probably prototypes or custom chips that this company made for somebody with this kind of packaging. This is the way they do it. And I'll show you why later, that this is probably custom packaging. They do this a lot for prototypes, for small runs, for custom work for other companies. So what you've got here is, you got your purple ceramic package. You've got this metal lid is made of a metal called Kovar, which in itself is not terribly valuable, but it is gold plated. So you've got some value in the gold plating there. You've got fully gold plated legs on these, and these probably extend well inside the IC package for the gold plating. Again, this is a reason I would buy the whole chip, not chips with the legs removed. Underneath the Kovar lids, there's probably gold brazing and probably gold bond wires. So these kind of chips right here, these have a lot of gold in them. It's in, various forms. Gold plating, gold bond wires, gold brazing. It's all there. So let's see, 73 pieces for $160. So I'm thinking with these you could probably get 2, 3, maybe on a good day 4 or 5 grams of gold out of this batch of chips right here. Maybe not quite that much, but this is the real stuff here. This has got a lot of gold in it. Okay. It's an auction. It's already got 7 bids on it. It's already up to $160. So we're approaching the price. Another bid or two will approach the price of like 3 grams of gold. So you're getting up close to what you can get out of these. Not before you even figure in the cost of your chemicals, your effort, your time, your whatnot. So too bad it's an auction, because I think by the time the auction ends in, 28 hours or so, I think it's going to receive a few more bids, and it's, adding in the shipping, which is reasonable, $8.60. He's not gouging you on the shipping. I think you would be probably in the hole. I mean, you could add it to your watch list and check it, and hopefully not a lot of other people bid, but when people see this much gold, they lose control, and they just, throw money at auctions like this. Yeah, there's a lot of gold there, at least it looks like there is, but you got to remember, it's plating, and the gold plating is pretty thin. There's a lot of gold plating, but still, it's thin. The bond wires underneath are nice. The brazing underneath is nice. And it all adds up into, a goodly amount of gold. But it's going to take some effort to get it, some chemicals. And really, you don't want to pay more than this for these chips right here. Because you'll get in the hole. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So if this was the last couple of the seconds of the auction and it was only at $160, yeah, I might throw a bid in for 10 more bucks and see if I could get them. But given that there's over a day left before this auction runs out, I'm sure more people are going to bid, and they're going to see this shiny gold, think they're getting something really great, and they're going to throw more money at these than they're worth. It happens all the time on eBay. It's almost guaranteed. But you can watch. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe it'll be a slow day on eBay when these end. All right, let's look at another listing. Okay. This is an interesting listing. 6 kilograms, 13.2 pounds, IC dip, EEPROM CPU. Again, this guy is jamming every keyword he could think of into his title, but I'll explain what he's actually got here. You look at this. Okay, you've got fully gold-plated prototype chips, basically, is what you've got here. Look at this. They still have all the legs attached to each other. They haven't been cut loose from each other. They're fully gold-plated. Let me find another picture. Here's a picture of what they all are. Basically, this is for prototyping what these are. And I can't really tell in that photo. I guess it has a chip in it. So yeah, these are, yeah, it has a chip in it. I can see in this photo there's a chip in it. Hopefully there's gold bond wires in there. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. Maybe that's gold bond wires, that little fuzzy stuff there. So this is an interesting listing. 6 kilograms, that's a lot. That's a lot for all this fully gold-plated stuff. Now, we are missing, it looks like, you know, the Kovar lids. There's no Kovar lids on them. So I'm thinking that this is a prototype batch of chips that they decided was no good, or they decided to change the design on it. They never got them out to the customer. Some fab house made these. They never got them out to the customer. Either the customer changed the design at some point, or they decided that the chips were no good, and they told production, hey, stop what you're doing and, you know, set those aside. We can't do anything with them. Before they got to the point of putting the Kovar lids on and trimming the legs and labeling them. It never got done. It never made it through the whole manufacturing process. So I've mentioned the term prototype once or twice, and I can tell by looking at these that these are prototype chips. This is how they prototype chips, okay? This is the kind of package they put them in. They have these generic packages ready to go. These generic ceramic packages with gold-plated legs. They want prototypes to be as reliable as possible. Use the gold plating. They use the ceramic packages. They'll take their prototype chips. They'll put them in here. They'll wire them up with gold bond wires out to the contacts. They'll solder the Kovar lid on top. They'll label them and they'll send them off to the customer. That last one that we looked at, that's why I think these were prototypes or short-run chips or something, because I think they're in prototype packages too, except they got a little further along. They were actually have their lids on and they got labeled. These never made it that far. Something went wrong somewhere. Yeah, so that's how they prototype chips. So once the customer's design is finalized, and the fab house has figured out how to make the chips in quantity with a good yield. If the customer places a large enough order, they'll move away from this kind of packaging and they'll go to, you know, the sort of generic plastic or ceramic packaging that you see for bulk manufacturing of chips. But for prototyping, this is what you get over here, generally, when you order dual inline packages like this. So there is a fair amount of gold here, especially if those are gold bond wires. Okay? Still, $4,200 for 6 kilos? No, they'll probably find somebody who will pay that amount of money for it. I'm watching the auction just to see what it, or the sale, just to see if somebody does buy it and for how much. I mean, 5 people watched in the last 24 hours, so all this gold here is getting people's attention. But it's not $4,200 worth of gold. There's not over 2 ounces of gold there. Okay, that basically, if you look at the price, $4,200, gold's over $2,000 an ounce as I record this. You know, there are not over 2 ounces of gold in that 6 kilos of, well, partially finished prototype chips. No. So, how much gold is there? It's really hard to say, but I would say you'd be lucky to get half an ounce out of those 6 kilos. So I'm watching this. I'm thinking it probably won't sell. It might sell. There might be a sucker out there who's willing to, pay $4,200 for that. If it doesn't sell, I want to see what he relists it for, and what lower price he relists it for. But I mean, even at half that price, I think it's too much. If he gets down to under 1,000, I'd have to think long and hard about whether I want to bid on him. It might be worth it if he gets it under 1,000, but at 4,200, no, just not worth it to me. So when you look at these listings on eBay, you have to take everything into account. I mean, whether you're going to be getting most of your gold from plating, whether you're going to get it from bond wires, whether you're going to get it from the brazing, whether you're going to get it from, you got CPUs here. Here's another lot. So CPUs with gold-plated legs. All right. So there's another source of gold. All right. We've got some older, fully gold-plated CPUs here. I can't really tell the number, but I would imagine it's probably like an 80186 or 80286. They came in that kind of package. Got some old gold-plated EPROMs over here. This stuff, I don't know if that's even gold-plated. Those just might be yellow resistor packs. It's hard to tell. Hard to tell in the photos. No, it's HP stuff, so I'm sure it is gold-plated. HP loved to gold-plate everything, especially back in the day. So, yeah. So there's a lot of gold plating here. Oh, this looks like PDP-11 processors or PDP-8 processors, one or the other. So yeah, there's a lot of gold plating here. Fully gold plated legs, Kovar lids, lots of gold plating. What are they asking? 107.50, but of course it's an auction. So in the next 5 days, 54 minutes, who knows how many more people are going to bid on it. At the current price, no. At the current price, I think it's even overpriced. But yeah, so like I say, you got to take all this stuff into account. How much gold is there actually in this? How much effort, time, chemicals is it going to take you to get it? Because some of this stuff is going to be hard to recover. I just recently did a video on getting gold out of ceramic IC chips. They didn't have the Kovar lids, unfortunately, but they were more like these chips here. Except, of course, I got the gold bond wires, too, because I crushed the chips down. I didn't, buy them already broken from somebody else. So, But there's just so many factors you need to take into consideration, if you're going to seriously think about buying chips off of eBay. What do we got here? Got some more processors with gold-plated legs. So these most likely have some gold bond wires in them, as well as those gold-plated legs. $34. It's probably worth it at $34, but again, it's an auction. It's going to go on for another almost, 2.5 days, and it's already got 13 bids. I can see a lot more bids coming in. I would say it's probably with shipping already towards the top of what I would pay for this. So I'm always looking for a bargain. If I can't find a bargain, I just move on. Patience, like I said before, patience is a virtue. Some of this stuff may get relisted at lower prices. You can shoot the offers. You can shoot the seller's offers and hope they will take them. If not, move on to something else. Sooner or later, somebody will list something without knowing what they've got. This guy knows what he's got. Okay, he lists memory IC chips, RAM, BGA RAM chips fairly regularly. He's willing to let a pound of them go for $55. He knows what he's got, and plus shipping, and he's willing to sell them at that price, and it's kind of a deal if you know how to deal with these chips. But every once in a while you get somebody who doesn't have any clue what they're selling, and they can wildly overprice them or wildly underprice them. I like it when they wildly underprice them. That's one reason I'm always, when I'm bored, got nothing better to do, get on eBay and I do the, scrap IC chips for sale search just to see what's up there. Because every once in a while, somebody will post something. They're cleaning out Grandpa's garage or whatever, and there's this great big box of chips in there. They have no clue what they're worth. They just see that people are selling chips on eBay and say, okay, well let's mark this box of 20 pounds of chips for $50-$60, put it on eBay, see if anybody bites. We'll make it a buy it now. So every once in a while you will see a bargain like that. When you see a bargain like that, you should jump on it. And I don't know why I'm telling you this, because that means all of you people watching this video will be looking for those kind of bargains and I won't get them anymore. But yeah, but most of these listings, I think, are pretty well overpriced. But again, since it's gold, there's always some sucker out there who's willing to pay their price, generally. Unless it's just somewhere up in the stratosphere. People just go gaga for gold. They see gold. They see dollar signs in their head, and there's generally more dollar signs in their head than there is in the chips that they're about to buy. So don't make that same mistake as so many people buying on eBay are doing today and every day. Don't overpay for this stuff. Look for a bargain. Look for something fairly priced. Figure in the shipping. Figure in your chemicals you're going to need. Figure in, assign a decent hourly rate to your own labor for processing them, and then decide whether it's really a deal or not. Oh, look, we're up to 6 watched in the last 24 hours. Somebody might actually buy this even at this outrageous price. You never know. Well, anyway, I hope you found this video interesting, educational, informative, inspirational, whatever. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to see my future videos. There will be more videos coming out, including processing some chips that I did not buy on eBay for getting the gold out of them. We'll get back to work on that here shortly once the rain abates, and show you how it's done in case you do find a bargain on chips on eBay. So subscribe to see those future videos. Check out my 2 other channels, ElectroGeek64 and Mike's Lapidarian Fossils. There's good stuff going on there. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this one. Bye.